We are not Memorex, we are live. Super Jab. What am I going to read tonight? I have about 25 minutes. 30 minutes, actually. So, it turns out, from everything I've been studying, this Hamas attack, who's the one that finances Hamas? The Likud, the Mossad. They are a deep state operation that was put in place just like Al-Qaeda was, otherwise known as the Mujahideen. The Mujahideen in Afghanistan was put in place by the CIA to fight the Taliban. Taliban means students. The student uprising for democracy, for more liberation. So the Mujahideen was put in power by the CIA to fight against Russian support of the Taliban. And supposedly they're the ones that attacked us on 9/11. No, it was an inside job. Yeah, a lot of them ex-CIA agents working for and moles and that shit working. But the same with this Mossad operation that happened in Israel this last week, week actually, a couple days ago. Turns out, and I'll send you the videos. I put them up on my Facebook, send them to a bunch of people on Instagram. I'll send you them if you want it. If you go to Rumble and you search it out, the channel is, or the one video, you got to spell it exactly like this, otherwise you won't find it in the search. They're trying to hide it. But it says, Mysteries of Israel solved. The mystery of Israel solved. Solved is all in capital letters. If you don't put in all capital letters and you don't spell Israel right like I did the first time, it's Israel. It's A-E-L. The mystery of Israel solved. It'll talk about how this was all an inside job, just like September 11th was in the U.S. That's why they're calling it the 9/11 of the Israel state, because the Israel state is just as corrupt as the U.S. state, and they do false flag operations just like 9/11. And that's what we're going to read about. 9/11 Synthetic Terror Made in the USA by Webster Griffin Tarpley. We're still on the introduction. A key feature of this study is to approach the roots of 9/11. I do not see 9/11 as an event growing exclusively or even primarily out of conditions in Afghanistan or the Middle East. Rather, I see 9/11 as the culmination of a decade-long crisis of economics, finance, politics, military affairs, and culture in the United States. In the broadest sense, 9/11 is the wages of a disastrous decade of economic globalization and of the impoverishment and weakening of an entire society. 9/11 does not grow out of U.S. strength, but represents a desperate flight forward in an attempt to mask U.S. weakness. 9/11 fits within the tradition of NATO geopolitical and sphere of influence terrorism as it was practiced in Italy and West Germany during the years 1965 to 1993. I reject the naive and sociological explanation of terrorism, the assumption that misery, oppression, and desperation give rise to terrorist operations which spontaneously express these underlying moods. But we live in an era in which political and social reality are incessantly manipulated by huge and persuasive intelligence agencies, CIA, FBI, MI6, FSB, KGB. He's putting FSG as, used to be called the KGB, now it's the FSB. Mossad, I spelled it wrong in my post, MOSSAD, that's British intelligence. BND, I'm not sure who that is. British National Defense, maybe. SDECE, SISIMI, I don't know what that is either. SISMI, No, I can't read it. SISMI. And the like, whose cumulative effects is to overdetermine or... I hate when they break words like this. Surdetermine observed reality. Wow. Okay, all these agencies whose cumulative effect is to overdetermine or surdetermine. Overdetermine or surdetermine. S-U-R. I don't know what surdetermine means. I'm going to look it up later. You guys post it in the feed if you'd like. Surdetermine observed reality. I therefore contend that the more reliable conceptual model for understanding terrorism is one that situates the secret intelligence agency or factions thereof in the center of the process, recruiting prospective terrorists from the... That's a long word and my eyes are not focusing on it. My God. Terrorists from the immiserated masses and forming them into clandestine operations which are henceforth subject to guidance from outside, behind, and above. High-profile international terrorism is not spontaneous. It is artificial and synthetic. It requires expert terrorist controllers. Because of this, the starting point for realistic appraisal of 9/11 is not primarily the sociology of the Middle East. Let me see if my car's still in the green and the cop's not here. Let me just check my time.